Hello and welcome to Fantasy Premier League, the D Unit's journey. I'm back with Alan. How are you,
Hey,
Alan?
man. Yeah, I'm not bad, mate. Not bad.
And you are here for the Game Week 18 preview video where we're going to discuss all the stuff that went down in Game Week 17, including Alan's decision to not adhere to my advice about picking Salah as captain.
Yeah, I tried to be too clever, and once again, it paid off badly. Badly backfired in my face.
So without further ado, let's have a look at the pressing issues that we've got for Game Week 18. Now, the Saka conundrum. Where do we begin, Alan? What do you do?
Got to take him out. I mean, if it's a hamstring, then he's going to be out for like 3 weeks at least. So, yeah, I think you just got to look at some other options. I think the price fall has shown that a lot of people are taking him out as well. So, yeah, look at some other options. I'm personally going to go for Saar, I think. Not only because he's Palace, but just because he's in exceptional form at the moment. So
He is. He is. We are going to talk about him a little bit later on as well. So he has been looking really good. And look, for anyone that's wondering, oh, should I wait for Mikel Arteta's press conference? Well, Mikel Arteta never actually tells you what's going on. Like, there's no point waiting.
it's always secret squirrel with him. He never gives anything away.
He could be in the festive spirit. Maybe he'll give us a gift.
Well, I think we know. I think we know he's going to be out for a while. So
Yeah, I think so. I looked at it and that looked like a 3 or 4 for 4 weeks. So for me, it's a definite sell. I'm just trying to work out what I want to do because there are so many different variables. Whether I just keep the money in the midfield, whether I increase my attack, whether I improve my defense with a more premium option. I'm still not sure, which is why I haven't transferred him yet. And obviously, the price drop overnight didn't affect me. I'm on. I bought him at 10.1, so I can afford for him to get to 10.5, which happened. So if he drops tonight, I'm going to have to move him tonight. So yeah. Clean sheets are back.
yes,
Are they? Eight.
six, 8.
Eight
Oh,
clean sheets.
blimey.
8 different teams got clean sheets.
Wow.
2-0 all draws on Sunday, by the way. It was a
Tot-
pretty boring.
Tottenham definitely didn't get a clean sheet though, did they?
Nah, 6 conceded. I think is that the highest this season? Has anyone
A
else
lot.
conceded more than 6 goals this season? I don't think so.
I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot.
I can't recall there being 7.
But yeah, there was 8 clean sheets.
But Liverpool and Arsenal both didn't keep a clean sheet. So all those premium defenders,
Yeah.
other than I think Gabriel got an assist for one of the goals, and Trent Alexander-Arnold obviously got a really good assist for the Luis Diaz goal. But yeah, I don't know what else to say other than the fact that they were pretty poor.
It seems to be all the money's in the midfield at the moment.
Yeah, I still don't think paying up for defense is worth it. I
No,
just don't get it at all.
no.
Yeah. Now, Isak. Some people captained him.
Oh,
I said he was a really good vice captain. I nailed my vice captain and captain this week.
yeah.
Isak with the hat trick. First hat trick ever for Newcastle, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, first ever hat trick. So well done to him. He delivered a massive haul of 17 points. Salah decided, nah, mate, no one outdoes me this season. This is my year, bitches.
I know.
And
I just don't know. I just honestly, this season for me has been me trying to be too clever. Me thinking, oh, everyone's going to captain Salah. It's obvious. I'm going to go for Palmer because if it pays off, then I'll be able to bridge that gap. And then Palmer gets nothing, like, and Salah just goes ham. It's like, oh, so now that's it, right? I'm saying it now. That is it. I'm just going to stick to what the masses are doing. I'm just sticking to I'm not trying to be too clever and not overcomplicate it because it's too painful.
I can tell you that this week, the fundamental thing is Leicester visit Liverpool. So I can't see anyone else other than Mo Salah again being the correct choice.
So Captain Justin.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, good shout. Good shout. He should be all right.
Salah's got a locked in captain.
He does. He does. So yeah, look, Isak looked really good as well. There were some other big scores, like Luis Diaz, I think, got 15 points as well, maybe. And Soboslai got 17. He's a good
17.
differential. He's only owned by, I think, 1.3, 6.1%, something like that. It's mad. Paying up for premium defenders might be possible now with Saka going down.
Maybe. What about Rodgers? We haven't spoken about Rodgers. That was
No,
the other
we
one who
haven't.
got a good haul.
We haven't. I called it, put him on the field. and he delivered.
Yeah.
So many people sold him last week for an Ahmad or an Enzo would have been absolutely livid with themselves.
Yeah.
I
And
sold Matoma, so it didn't make any difference. I got a grand total of 2 points, and if I'd left it, I would have got a grand total of 2 points. But we'll talk about Ahmad in a little bit
Yeah.
because the expected data in that game for Bruno Fernandes and Ahmad, they almost had a combined goal involvement of close to 2 between them, and yet somehow didn't get a return.
mad.
That was madness.
Can't get the ball in the back of the net.
No, they can't shoot. Needed to do
Um,
some get Rude back to teach them how to shoot.
Get Rue back in.
Oh man. So budget midfielder. Who's to pick?
Oh, budget midfielder.
6 and below.
Oh. Well, it's got to be. I mean, it's got to be Ahmad, right? I mean, he's
Is it?
5 point. What's he?
5.3 now. Almost rising to 5.4.
You know, I would say him. That's what I would say.
I think there's a discussion to be had. I think obviously Sar's pretty good value. He's
Yeah.
got really good underlying data. Rogers has still got really good underlying data. Enzo didn't see too much of it this weekend. For Manchester United, Ahmad was there and thereabouts. Just it was one of them days where they could have played another 180 minutes and they still wouldn't have scored a goal. And then my boy, start of the season, Jacob Murphy.
Yeah.
4.9 million. I'm going to bring up what he has done the last 4 weeks, but it's been pretty damn special. But the only problem I had is that at the start of the season, I thought he was a lock. Then he was out of the team, and he's only just come back into the team. And I'm not sure if that's something that's going to continue moving forward or what's going on. Yeah. So transfer plans as well for the week. Where are we going? What are we looking at? I've still got 2 free transfers after I did make 2 in the end last week. So I got in Robinson and Ahmad for 8 Nori and Matoma. Got me a total of 6 extra points. So it wasn't bad. I mean, yeah. So I'm pretty happy with how my team's looking in general. And we are going to flick over that now and have a look at what's been happening in the league this week and where we need to go from here. All right. So let's flick it over to there. All right. And this is my team currently. And if we go up to here, we're going to go to the points for the week just to show what's going on. So I got 86 points. It was a small green arrow. Back inside the top 20K, baby. 18,891. I was pretty happy with that. At one point on Sunday, it looked like I was actually going to have a slight down arrow, particularly after Trent got that early assist. But as soon as Tottenham scored, that sort of went away. And then Salah just went ham and pretty much rose me a few thousand spots just by himself. I mean, it was one of those days. So I'm going to talk about a few players here. The first one, Amad Diallo. So he was exceptionally unlucky. 0.25 expected goals, 0.69 expected assists. No return.
Yeah.
0.94 expected goal involvement.
That's unlucky.
That is deadly unlucky. To put it in perspective, Bruno Fernandes, 0.46 expected goals, 0.4 expected assists, 0.86 expected goal involvement, no returns. It was like so frustrating being at the game, watching him, and the amount of times that Bruno played it to Ahmad, who had a shot, or Ahmad played it to Bruno and they had a shot, and they kept going wide. I was like, man, someone put it away. It just wasn't our day. Was
Nobody
not our
was gonna
day.
call 3-0 Bournemouth against Man United. They weren't.
Nah. I mean, yeah, except Bournemouth fans. Well, I sing.
Except the cat, except Squid.
They were singing at the end of the game, going, "It's happening again." I was like, "Piss off." So yeah, they were the disappointments. Cole Palmer for the second week in a row blanked.
Yeah.
Again, he got 0.41 expected goal involvement after 0.54. That is disappointing. He's up to almost 65% ownership. That's insane. Chelsea's run that was a sea of green has now become a sea of grey. These teams have improved to the point where they're no longer green on the fixture difficulty rating.
Yeah.
Which is interesting in and of itself. Moh Salah is now, I'm pretty sure he's just in front. I can't believe that only 65% own this man. Look at these scores. 21, 5, 18, 13, 13, 14, 9, 10, 12.
Yeah.
How do you not own him?
Yeah.
But it must be 35% of the comp just haven't done it. 2.06 expected goal involvement, and he got 4 returns.
Salah's going to be like the FPL GOAT, isn't he?
He is. He is the FPL GOAT. Racked up another 3 bonus. I mean, this week they play Leicester, who have been god awful. They've conceded 70 shots prior to yesterday's game across their first 3 game weeks under Ruud van Nistelrooy. I don't know what it's up to now. It might be up to 100, but it ain't pretty.
No.
If they concede 30 shots against this Liverpool team, Moh Salah's getting a hat-trick. You would think. Maybe there'll be 2 hat-tricks. We just got to try and pick out the next best one. Nicholas Jackson, again, was slightly disappointing in this game as well. Again, 0.27 expected goals. Everton, unfortunately, have become a team that are hard to play against. So, like, their assets actually don't look too bad. And, like, this week they go to City, and City's assets are the ones where I've been looking at, because obviously we are going to have to get rid of Saka. This dude has to go. 39.2%. Man, he's dropped so much. When I looked at him yesterday on the way home on the bus, he was still about 46. So he's been shedded by the bucket load.
Yeah.
He's just got to go. So that is the question. Where do you go to from there? Now, João Pedro has been stinking it up, as has Brighton, the last, 5 weeks pretty much. 1 return in 5 weeks. I'm just not convinced by how well he's playing. 21% ownership. I'm actively considering moving him on in one of my 2 free transfers this week. He's just not offering anything. And now that I've got Ahmad as a budget enabler as well, I'm having to rotate the 2. And if João Pedro is offering nothing, I don't really want to be rotating. So, I mean, it's easy. It just means he's on the bench every week. But we are going to look at a couple of discussions here in terms of where I think you could go with Saka and what it could potentially mean for my team. Obviously, Kirkes and Colwill, 12.0 on the bench, but I had Hall and Robinson. They both got the same, and Timber was the one. I originally was going to keep Matoma, bench him, and play Colwill. Would have been slightly better off if I'd done that. But oh well, it is what it is. I got the goalkeeper call just about right. They both got 3 points.
Yeah.
It was a weird game to watch, that one.
That was odd, wasn't it?
It was a very odd game. I actually think that West Ham was slightly lucky to get a draw in the end, because I watched back the highlights.
There was a lot of action.
And there was a lot of action. Brighton were unlucky not to win that game, I don't think. So leagues, let's go there really quickly. In the main league that matters, I did go up 1 spot. I've moved back into 2nd spot. In fact, Rajan has fallen from 1st to 3rd this week. It's a rough thing. And the reason why is because I believe he did a U. And he went, he did go Salah captain. He just had a horrible time of the rest of it.
Yeah.
All his premium players didn't play well, and he had nothing on the bench. That's unlucky.
He's got a lot of red flags there.
Yeah, well, Young's suspended now for this week, so he's no good. Now, Amit had one of the weeks.
That is an amazing week.
He's had 2 amazing weeks in a row.
That.
He's into the top 2015 teams. This man is up and about. He's seeing them pretty damn well. I mean, like,
look at that.
He's only had 2 players not return in this team.
That is
Palmer and Saka. Dan Burn again. I can't believe he benched Hall. Dan Burn scored, but had the goal ruled out. His week could have been even better.
That is an amazing.
So he went early. He bought in Castagna for 4.2. He is a really good look. Tite is going to be out for like 9-10 weeks, so I really don't mind that from a footballing perspective. I'm not convinced that he's a good option this week. I'm probably starting Robinson on the bench because they've got Chelsea away. I'm expecting Chelsea to finally score this week.
Yeah.
Would be nice. So that's the plan there. But after that, the run of fixtures looks really nice, and you could rock the double Fulham defence in those games. I don't mind it at all. But yeah, I believe that Amit's actually traded out Saka for Luis Diaz. I'll just double check I've got this right. He did send this to me this morning. So he's gone early because he bought Saka at slightly more than me. And he has bought in Luis Diaz for Saka. And he's got rid of Barco, who's been sitting on his bench all season long. And he's brought in Trent Alexander-Arnold. So I don't mind it. His team's looking good. There's not much to worry about there. He's got his budget enabler and Rogers doing some good stuff. It's looking pretty good.
That's how you play FPL.
Yeah.
Spread.
What's his team value like? Let's have a look. So he's only got 103.5. But yeah, he's killing it. Absolutely killing it. Love it. Well done, man. Shout out to you. Top
Yeah.
scored in the week this week. You're back on top. Fantastic stuff. It's what we love to see. In terms of FPL challenge, if you have a look at that really quickly, did you put one together for this?
Nah.
So last week I went with, where is it? Here we go. Sorry. No. Okay. What's going on here? No, next. My bad. Festive fixtures. I needed to go back one here. All right. So home for the holidays. I can tell you how well this went. So I played a bunch of Man United players thinking they were going to win, and they didn't. But if the underlying data said that they were going to do well, they just didn't. And Justin was not the pick.
Yeah, but you were very convinced to play him.
I was.
You can't be right all the time.
Nah, no, I just got that wrong. It was a horrible week. Yeah, really crap. Top score of 149. I got 40. Probably just should have captained Moh Salah. So back to what I'm looking at in terms of my transfers at the moment. As we can see there, Isak is the most transferred in player at this point in the game week. 517,000 people already bringing him in on the back of that hat trick. Gabriel Jesus, who's going to be featuring in a minute here, is a potential option for João Pedro that I quite like the look in terms of if I move that way. Rogers, he's yo-yoing. Last week he was sold. This week he's back in with his 14. Luis Diaz getting resurrected after his 2 goals. I'm surprised Szoboszlai's not there with that 17 points. Aina obviously there looking like a good option as well from Forest, who have just been so good defensively.
So good, yeah.
Saka, the most sold. 583,000 teams are on it, and he's already gone. Haaland continues to get sold in big numbers.
It's because the money.
Oh, yeah, it
it's
is.
because there's so much money.
And he's been bang average. Cunha's getting sold, even though he hasn't technically been banned yet. We are still waiting for the Premier League to come out with that. Has to be. Maybe it's going to be like 10-week ban or something.
It's coming.
Welbeck's going, and João Pedro, as I said, I am looking at getting rid of him. 122,000 people agree that maybe he needs to go. So yeah, let's have a look at what it means for my team and my transfers for this week. So in regards to this, there are a couple of different options. As I said, I really still want to cover the Liverpool defense. So for me, Saka is definitely going. And I talked through a couple of these options. I'll talk it through with everyone here. So in this scenario, Phil Foden could come in. Now, everyone's going to say, why are you picking Phil Foden? Well, the fixtures for the next 5 weeks are pretty good. I mean, they've got Everton, Leicester, Ipswich, West Ham, Brentford. It's a nice run of 5 fixtures. If there's a time for City to click and pick up some wins, it's now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because if they don't, they really are cooked. And Pep looks like he's been in the oven a bit too long. So yeah, look, Phil Foden is definitely someone I'm looking at here as a bit of a differential. Now, I could bring in, select replacement. So Alexander-Arnold, I've got enough money to do this transfer. He could come in. He is likely to rise in price tonight to 7.1. Lots of people thinking the same thing. That is how I could redistribute the Saka money in the defense. But I've been saying all season long, and I owned Trent at the start of the season, sold him, and I am contemplating bringing him back. The reason why is because I have Leicester at home. Straight in front of you. It's a great entry point. West Ham away the following week. Then I'm not sure about the next 3 games. They might concede a goal there, potentially. But I just really like him. Like, his numbers this week have been pretty good as well. So 0.57 expected assists on the weekend. That's pretty damn good. He's starting to look a bit more attacking. But I don't know if it's just because of the fact that Tottenham are so crap that we need to take that in perspective. But they are playing someone that's just as bad this week as well in Leicester. So, like, that's an option. Obviously, I talked through this before. Colwill will just restore him. Now, the other option is I obviously still have 2.5 in the bank if I get him Foden there. João Pedro leaves in this option. And in comes Jesus. Don't know why he's not showing up. Maybe hold on. to all players. All right, so Jesus could come in 6.8. He did rise in price tonight. I was a little bit sleeping on it because I just wasn't as sure on it. But I do like this moving forward because it means that I can go back to playing a 3-4-3 on the weeks where I think Ahmad has a crap fixture. I can then play Jesus instead. And Arsenal's run from here does look pretty good for attackers. So I got Ipswich at home straight up, and they conceded 4 against Newcastle. Then they got Brentford, then they got Brighton, then they got Spurs, then they got Villa. All teams that don't really have good defences at all. Then they've got Wolves.
I like it. I prefer that one, I think, to Trent.
Yeah. But that's my thinking. That's what I'm going to be doing the rest of today, thinking about which move is correct.
Is that all you're going to be doing today?
So that's
just thinking about that move.
Pretty much, yeah. That's what it is. So that would use my 2 free transfers. Now, the following week, originally I wanted to bring in Becker because he's got Leicester, but Fabianski has Southampton this week, so I'm quite happy to rock him before they play Liverpool in the following week. So my plan is to keep Fabianski. Verbruggen has got Brentford at home, and Brentford don't travel away well. I'm just not sure who's the best pick. It's going to be a conundrum like it was on the weekend, and they both got 3 points. It didn't matter. But that's going to be a tricky thing. But one of them is likely to leave for Becker with the remaining 1.3. And I'm unlikely to go back to Saka when he's fit and available, unless he starts popping off and going ham. He's been too injury prone this season to justify bringing him back in, because that's the second time he's had a leg injury, and I'm sure it's the same hamstring. But yeah, so that would leave my team like that. I would then have 1.3. It would cost 0.9 to get in Verbruggen, to get rid of Verbruggen for Becker, which means I could then upgrade one of these defenders to a Munoz in game week 19. That'd be the plan. Or it might be Munoz comes in before Becker. I'm not sure. So if we go to Alan's team, and he's going to talk us through what he is thinking of doing. So
I've already done it.
Oh, he's done it.
I've done it.
Oh, here we go. All right, well, here we go. Let's talk about what he did. So Alan actually had a. Did you have a green? Oh, mate, you had a red arrow. You can't win.
Never get a red arrow in this group. But then
we had 2 people. We had 2 people come in. So a new person in at number 7, new person in number 11. That's probably why you had a down arrow.
Yeah, but also I made some stupid mistakes. I didn't captain Salah.
Let's
I
have
had
a look.
Semedo on the bench.
Here it is. So before we left, at the end of the deadline stream, I was like, you need to make Salah captain, and you need to play Semenyo over João Pedro. So Semenyo sat there with 8 points on the bench. That's 6 points you missed out on. And then captaining Cole Palmer instead of Moh Salah cost you another 18 points. So a grand total of 26 points, 24 points, something like that, was missed out. You would have beaten me. You would have definitely been on a green arrow.
Thanks, babe.
It's all right. My pleasure.
Let this be a lesson to you how not to play FPL.
So what have you done? What do you confirm with your moves?
So I'm swapping out Saka. I'm going to bring in Sa.
Yep.
And then I'm going to swap out, scroll down the Ipswich defender, Greaves. So Greaves is getting swapped out for Gabriel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I'm going to get a stronger defence. And also I have some money in the bank. I'll have about 2.4 in the bank, so I can redistribute that.
Probably on João Pedro.
Probably on João Pedro. Yeah. Get João Pedro out and get someone else in.
What did you buy him for?
I don't even know where to look at that.
Yeah, I don't know how to look at it either for you. Oh, hold on. List view. All right, here we go. You bought him in.
So where's this?
I think. Oh, no, maybe I can't. No, sorry, I can't see it on here. Nah, I'd have to look at it on your thing.
Right.
Yep. But, yeah, unlucky leaving that Semenyo points on the bench. I mean, you've got to feel sorry for those people that left Rodgers on the bench.
Yeah.
Not sure what's going on there. I don't know why we've gone back to
gameweek 60.
Yeah, let's go. That was a good week from Alan. 34 points.
Wow.
Very solid, very solid. I have to scroll so far down to find you.
No, there, look.
Oh, yep. Number 20. I mean, yeah, you just It's just been a disaster. You've just been like one step behind most of the season.
Yeah, I know. It's been a shock of a season. Last season was good. This one's a bit pony, but do you know what? It's a game. You just keep moving.
Now, the last thing we need to check before we wrap this up is we're going to go into the leagues here, and every week counts. And I won. That's all that matters. I beat the Olaf. I didn't even notice that. Well done, Olaf. Oh, there's a couple of draws in here. Oh, Darren beat you.
Darren!
He could have done what I said. You would have
know.
beaten him.
I know.
That's unlucky.
Muggy.
That's very unfortunate.
Muggy.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. So look, the thing I would say, and look, this is how my team is lining up for next weekend. Obviously, at the moment, Saka obviously will probably. I am leaning towards Foden now. Some people have talked about Luis Diaz and Diego Jota with that Leicester at home game. It does look tempting to go there. I'm just not convinced that they're going to start.
Well, Jota's always a risk, isn't he? With starting.
Yeah, but so is Diaz. Diaz has been like playing one, benched.
It's
playing
like one or the other.
benched. Playing
Which one
one,
do you go
benched.
for? It's like mate, get a coin and flip a coin.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it.
So I feel like because it's Leicester, they might play a slightly weaker lineup. I feel like Diaz will start the following game. So like if I pull up the fixtures here for Salah, they've got West Ham up next. So Diaz, and we'll just pull him up so people just sit there and saying I don't know what I'm talking about. I do. I promise. So Diaz, it is tempting, but the minutes are a risk. So before this week, he actually started back-to-back games for the first time in a long time. He has been starting, benched, starting, benched, starting, benched, starting, benched, starting. I don't know if that continues this week. I feel like he could be benched. And if I think he's likely to be benched, it's too much of a risk to bring in. Even though it's Leicester and he could come off the bench and score. So same things with Jota. Now, he has started on the bench last two games, being back from injury. But you would think that he's likely to start sooner or later in one of the next two games.
Yeah.
And in that case, that means it's more of a rotation risk again with Diaz, Jota, Gapco, Nunez, Sloboslai. In fact, the one that I really liked that I did look at this morning, because he has had some massive scores, and I think it's gone a little bit under the radar in terms of the weekend, is the fact that he's only 1.7% in teams, but he has got the capacity to go big.
Southampton gameweek 12.
Yeah, and the fact that he's going to be playing against a Leicester team that just seem to be giving up shots makes you think that he could be a really good option the next 2 weeks. Because if we go back to the start of the season against Ipswich, Man United, he did well, and he's generally been starting. Well, in fact, he's actually been the same. Too much of a minutes risk. So it's hard to sit there. Other than Salah, who is nailed on to start every game, picking up another Liverpool player just seems like a bit of guesswork, and you're hoping for the best. Yeah. It's like slot roulette. Instead of pep roulette, it's slot roulette.
Slot roulette.
So yeah, I'm not sold on it. Sa obviously as well. We'll just have a quick look at him. Lots of people have been talking about him. 1.1% ownership, 5.7. He's been so good the last couple of weeks. Underlying data is there as well. And he's a pretty good shout. So that's who Alan's bought in.
Yeah.
You've increased his ownership. Well done. And then the other player I want to talk about before we finish this up is someone that I had at the start of the season. This man, 4.9 mil. He's had 3 monster weeks in a row.
Yeah.
So he's had 2 assists in 59 minutes against Brentford, 2 goals against Leicester, 1 goal and 1 assist against Ipswich. Now, my only concern is he is a minutes risk. You can see there, the stats don't lie. 63 minutes, 59, 73. But his expected goal involvement per season, or per game, per 90, 0.2, 0.24. So good. The 4.9 mil. I can't believe he's dropped 0.6 since I bought him.
He's getting a lot of points in a few minutes, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. So look, he's not as nailed on as I think you would want for that kind of a player. So for me, I don't think you can go there. But one last thing, Forest defense. How good have they been? pull them up here.
Anya.
Like Anya's obviously he's scored the most points from defenders this season now.
Yeah.
That's mad. The underlying data there for in terms of clean sheets, you only have to look there on the right and it tells you everything you need to know. Like they're not conceding a lot of XG and most weeks they're keeping it under 1. It's pretty damn good across the season. They've only like had those few games where they got belted like 3-0 and that. But other than that, they've looked pretty good. And other than this Tottenham game, who I wouldn't be too keen on, it then gets much nicer from a defensive perspective. Other than that Liverpool game, it's all looking pretty good until about game week 26. So I don't mind it. Anything else to add before we close up? The main thing is what do you do with Saka? Where do you go to? Do you invest in the attack or do you invest in the defense? Now, you have chosen to invest in the defense.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to go the other way.
Yeah. Well, it'll probably end badly for me, but no, I just think that's my move. And then next time, João Pedro swap him out. But yeah, Saka wise, I just want to start. I think he's got good underlying there and it frees up some money. He's good value. But you've got other ones. I mean, Enzo, he's 5. He looks good. Ahmad. Who was the other one? There was another one I was thinking of that was quite good. Oh, I can't think of it now. But I think those two.
Fair. All right. Well, we are hopefully going to be back for a Boxing Day.
Yep.
Deadline day stream where Alan will hopefully be back on with me then. We won't see him again. So happy Christmas, Alan. Happy Christmas to all you people out there. Make sure you get your Christmas spirit on. And hopefully Moh Salah keeps delivering for us all.
Yeah.
And hopefully Alan's learned his lesson.
Yeah, I've learned my lesson.
Bye. Thanks for joining. We'll see you later.